Hey, good evening, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to the end of this work week for everyone. So I was just on with Nick Ferrucci. We had a good time, selling a little bit of art, helping out the Loop Family Fund, and it was a lot of fun. As some of you can tell, I was a little off my game. I had a rough afternoon today. It was one of the most peculiar afternoons I've had probably in a long time. I was trying to work on getting the Catskill Comics website up and running, and it was not cooperating. It was a major failure to launch, unfortunately, and very disappointing. I've never seen anything quite like it. Some bizarre DNS issues that we were having with his domain registrar, and it could have been something on my end, but it's like riding a bike. I do these things all the time, and 5 minutes later, site's up and running. This time, didn't happen. It was just it was the strangest thing. So I had a really terrible afternoon, and I'm ready for the weekend. I'm ready for Miller time or whatever time it's going to be after I'm done with the show tonight, because yeah, it was tough, definitely tough. But Scott was he was understanding. We're going to try to launch it again on Monday. I figure it's better to launch it at the beginning of the work week, where if there is a technical problem, he and I can at least get his registrar on the phone, and we can figure out exactly where the problem actually is at, because yeah, that was a head scratcher. 3 hours of mucking around trying to make a website work was not fun, but yeah, everybody's working for the weekend. Exactly. Kombucha, is that do you drink that, Mikhail? It's Maureen's drink of choice. But yeah, so long time. And it's frustrating because the Catskill site looks really pretty. It's a very nice site, and he's put a ton of effort into it. He's already uploaded over 1,000 artworks into it. You'd never know that his old site has 1,000 artworks. So there's just a lot of new material in there, and we can't show it to anybody until I get the darn thing up and running. So Monday, one way or another, I'm going to make that darn thing work. I might actually try some tests over the weekend, just to see if I can fix it before waiting until Monday. But at any rate, that is my work week, and I'm glad it is over. So we had a very fun show on Wednesday. I think probably most of the people who were here this evening got to see the Dueling Dealers episode. It was our first one going for raising some funds for charity, which was new for us. And we did the thing with John Paul Leon at the Comic Art Live, but I wasn't really involved with that as much as I was just hosting conversations. But raising funds for the Loop Family Fund right now, I know for sure we've just over $6,000. So I appreciate everybody's help with that. It really made a difference and made me feel good. I wasn't really sure what to expect from that show and doing that, but I think it just shows, like I mentioned in the Thursday email, that as a community we can really rally together on something and make a difference. And so I'm very proud of everybody for that. And Maureen and I will definitely be putting in about $1,000 as well. So it's all for a good cause. And Felix has been such a great friend of mine. For over 10 years in the hobby, that it's like the least I can do for everything he's done for me over the years. So, but yeah, we had a good show. And we talked a lot after that in the green room. And what we're going to do is, I got to choose what charity would be our first one. So Anthony's going to do the next one. I don't think he's picked specifically what he's going to do yet, but it'll be Anthony's choice when we do it on the next show that we have for that. So yeah, very good. And it was amazing to see the super chats roll in, wasn't it? I wanted everybody to wait. I was going to say, we can do it super chats, but your YouTube takes a little bit more of a cut, I think, than his charity donations, and I was going to have everybody do it over on Felix's website. But then after it got started, it was just so nice to see it, and the momentum was there. So it was good to carry it all through right on the site and right through the YouTube chat. So very fantastic. So. But yeah, and I was really happy when Marcus picking up those first two pieces. That was really awesome of him to do that. I saw him dropping comments at the beginning of the show before it even started, so that was kind of fun to see. And I think that just in general, you guys know how appreciative I am of the time we get to spend together, and the fact that you've been supportive of just everything that we do on this channel. So it's always a good thing. So. So yeah, I've had highs and lows this week, but I don't have really much to do this weekend, and I've kind of promised myself that Maureen and I are going to spend some time working. We're going to spend some time on the weekend working on CAF. We've got I've got a few things that we've been working on that just aren't getting completed. Like that I told you about the email pages update. Maureen's really close on that. So I just said, any free time we have this weekend, it's going to be focused on these CAF updates that we've been just slowly meandering through. Yeah, you never comment, Marcus. Yeah. You're one of my faves, though, Marcus. You dish it out as well to everyone, and that's what's great to see. I like everybody in the chat, whether they're just having a good time or they're trying to ruffle a few feathers. It's all good. So it's at any rate. So this weekend will be a CAF weekend. I don't have anything else to do. We've got our employees over at the mini golf. I don't have to worry about that for this weekend. And other than Catskill, hopefully launching on Monday, no big projects are in my way. Did you miss the cake? No. Well, no. And I didn't see it. I hope everybody appreciated Gwen's cake. My daughter's cake on Wednesday. She put a lot of effort into that, but she didn't watch the chat, and I couldn't either. So but that was fun, and it tasted good. Believe it or not, I was like, this is one of her first cakes, so I didn't have high expectations for it, but it was actually very tasty. Let's see. I know my art has been viewed when I see a comment by Marcus. Marcus is one of the early commenters on a lot of people's pieces. So he spends a lot of time here, and he spends a lot of time posting comments on CAF. And I thought we had a really great interview last night with Tyler and Maddie. That was a lot of fun. I really only got to kind of skim their gallery before the interview last night, but really diving back in there. I mean, he had 5 Frank Quiteleys in there that I thought were really great, and he's clearly has a lot of taste similar to myself and several of you in the chat. So that was it was a pleasant surprise because I didn't really know a lot about them before and their collection before we got into that. So I love doing these chats as much as you guys enjoy sitting in on them. But as everybody knows, this will be at least for a while, this will be the last Friday show that I do. Beginning on Thursday of next week, the CAF update will move back to Thursday, and we'll limit ourselves, at least for the time being, to 1 live interview a week on Tuesdays, and we'll see how that works. I did do a recorded interview earlier today with Scott Kress from Catskill. This before everything went wrong, so we were all happy and talking about a little bit about his new site and all this stuff. So now it's like I definitely can't release that until after we get things working. But the plan for me there is that in some cases I want to do these shorter interviews, do a little bit of a teaser on the CAF update for it, and then launch it on Friday. So we still have something going on Friday, even if it isn't a live show. It'll be a recorded, whether it's a short interview, an introduction to a seller, those sorts of things. So I still want to keep the content flowing. I just don't know, the timing part of it. Remember, I just want to avoid having every evening taken up with doing live streaming. So that's also, and Dino, good to see you again. I did finally confirm that I will not be able to make it to the Society of Illustrators at the end of the month on July 31st at 2. So I did want to shoot you a few emails, before then, because if you are going, it would be great if you could shoot a little bit of video for me and maybe take some still shots. My intention is to visit the show sometime in August on a Sunday, or not on Sunday, on a Saturday as well. But I'm thinking like mid-month is when I'm going to try to make the trip out there. So Berkey and I might do it, and we were planning on probably hitting up Anthony and doing a few memes, like the 3 of us together. So just trying to make a work and fun trip out of it. But I won't be able to go on the 31st, unfortunately. So yep, that's perfect. Thank you so much. Anything you can get that we can have you put it back on the Google Drive for me, and I can kind of put it together, and then we'll show it on the CAF update. I think that would be good. And there's some kind of a Ditko exhibit that's going on near Pittsburgh that Mike lent artwork to, and I believe the opening for that it's within 2 weeks. So he and I are probably going to go to that show, and on the opening night of that, and I'll shoot some video and whatnot for that, and then we'll use that on the CAF update as well. So there's things are happening again, right? I mean, we're getting together, and we're going to be looking at different things. And if I can't get to everything, at least we can show as much as we can here. So it's kind of like doing con reports, but these are gallery get-together reports, and I think it'll be good for everybody to see that. So it's Fat Albert, you guys. But and I know that there was actually something else going on too that I wanted to record, but I can't remember what that was at the moment. I was, oh, you know what? I was supposed to meet Colin. Was doing this across the country tour, and he was going to be stopping at the Billy Ireland Museum in Columbus, but his trip was cut short because of something going on back in Massachusetts. So we won't be able to do that. But he and I talked about trying to maybe get out there sometime, maybe in the fall, and doing something there. And as everybody knows, we want to try to do an Ohio get together next spring at the Billy Ireland when the Marvel exhibit is also in Columbus, and hopefully we can work that out. I was hoping to go over there and talk with them direct while Colin was with me, but I'm gonna have to try to work something out differently and maybe iron that out before the end of the summer. It'd be nice to know what we may or may not be able to do with Billy Ireland. So yes, hey Nick, nice to see you back here. I still haven't recovered from my depression earlier of the failure to release Catskill, but I'm getting over it, trying to get over it. So outside of all of that, that's probably, those are the main things. I mean, so as you know, so when we do the show next Thursday, I'm going to change the format up just a little bit. There'll still be a lot of me rambling and whatnot, but like I told you, I've got a few topics I want to discuss to kick off the show, just things that I know will spur a little conversation, and I think it's something that we can look forward to in successive weeks, just covering topics on the hobby that I think are important and different than what we've been doing on the Collector's Show, which there is a Collector's Show on Sunday, everyone. So be sure to tune into that on the channel at 9 p.m. So that's going to be, we're back on track with that after being off for a week because of just schedules and all that. So yeah, last show, but I am looking forward to kind of having this one focus show a week that's just about calf and just topical stuff. So I want it to be a little bit more useful. So that's why hopefully this weekend we get a couple of those projects out of the way, and I can talk more about them and get some feedback live from everybody on especially on the email changes that we're working on. So why don't we talk about the calf update for the week and cover all of the top sales. So just like we talked about last week, we knew going into this period that Felix and his San Diego show were going to just dominate the news, and he did. I mean, that was one hell. We've gotten used to those 4 or 5 day art drops where he just pretty much sells out of everything, and he just did once again a phenomenal job, brought everybody together, and again, it's back to all these interesting things that we're all doing to try to sell without being at cons. I just think that more things like that Felix has done, and he's stayed very consistent with it. I can't see how he's not going to continue it even when San Diego's out next year. What will he do? He move it the week before? Will he do it the week after? I don't know. If he's smart, he would do it the week before probably, but I just really appreciate seeing all the innovation that's happening, and I think that like I mentioned, so sales wise, let's just talk about the calf update. The week before last week, there was $289,000 in dealer sales. With Felix's contributions to this last week, it was at just under $420,000, but more than half of that, $247,000 of the sales from last week were all from Felix and his San Diego show. So very, very solid week. And I can't, we always like the amateur dealers when they end the show, they've got up to 19 artworks to sell. Just imagine what Felix has to go through after he does one of these episodic art drops like that. I mean, he's going to be tied up for a week and a half, or even more. So yeah, that's going to take a lot of effort to put it all, pack it all, make sure he gets all the multiple orders in the right packages. I mean, I can't even imagine what that's got to be like, but it is what it is. So Felix, like as I said, $418,000 in sales last week for dealers. Felix at 247, and then everybody else just kind of fell the wayside. I mean, I don't know if it was just because they didn't do many art updates last week, but Albert was second with 37,000 in sales. Mike was third with 36. Or no, I'm sorry, Anthony was third with 36, and Mike was fourth with only 21 and a half. And then Panel Page at just over 15. So you can see everything, Felix ruled the week, and maybe everybody else just kind of pulled back from that. I think because Albert had a nice update the week before the San Diego Felix show, so I mean maybe everybody's just kind of learning, stay away from Felix, on that week of his show. So, but still a solid week overall for most of the dealers. I can show you the top 6 items from that week. First up, this one is actually sold by Will. From this was a piece that was from Avengers 300. It's John Buscema, Tom Palmer from 1989. Asking price again was $35,000 on it. I know he had this one up for a while, and surprised it took that long to move, but I really like that piece. And then next up is a Frontline Combat cover, issue number 14, Wally Wood, and this one was sold by Albert Moy. Asking price on this one was $26,000. And now we're going to get a few pieces from Felix's art drop. This is the cover to Venom number 200 by Ryan Stegman. Price on this one was $15,000. Drastic amount of detail in that one. And then similarly on this one, this is a King in Black issue 5 cover, Stegman again. This one sold for $12,000. And our last two, this was a Felix sale as well. Ryan Otley, Invincible issue number 1 cover, and this was sold for $12,000. And finally, this was sold by Glenn. Asking price was $10,000. It's the continuation of the Deadpool 30th anniversary artwork that Rob Liefeld's been putting out there. This was Deadpool X-Men, of course. So there you have it. A top 6 sales, but you only get a couple of Felixes in there, so you can tell it's all volume, lots of sales. I don't, one of these days I should probably start including. Well, I guess I could. It was 181 sales by Felix. So I mean, typically we almost never see a dealer come close to 100 sales in a week. Anthony is always like the highest, and he's consistently around 80 sales in a week. So for Felix to do 181, that's just amazing, and just again a testament to his strong marketing skills and ability to get all that done. So let's see, looking through some of the comments because I wasn't on that screen. Yeah, all right, yep, nope. Tom Palmer, fantastic inker, and yeah, all right, sorry. So it's tough to like bounce through screens on here. That's why being on Nick's show as a audience or as being interviewed was just so off-putting, because I'm so used to having to like do all this work. And at any rate, so a solid week for the dealers. Auction houses also did, and I know that once again there's going to be a piece in here that I'm sure nobody saw. At least I'm going to guess no one saw it, because it was a buy it now from Bashara, believe it or not, through eBay, and it was a Dave Gibbons Watchmen page. Not probably one of the least desirable pages that would be out there, if you can say that about a Dave Gibbons Watchmen artwork, but it was from issue 5, page 7, sold with a buy it now for just what was it, $24,995, and very average but very beautiful. But when you think about all the pieces that we always see regularly going up on Heritage and a few other places that they're always the creme de la creme, right? Well, this piece, I don't know how long it was on eBay, but like everybody else who has those anti-sniping programs that let you know when stuff you want appears on eBay, those kind of things, they don't last because people have their own keywords set up, just like the watch list that we have on CAF. It's kind of the same thing that they can do on eBay. So rather than getting the eBay push notification 24 hours after something has been put on there, they get notified within 5 to 10 minutes when something that matches their keyword set gets put out there. So yes, Mikhail, there was a Watchmen page on eBay and no one saw it. So I'll start this thing off with that. So auction results, we're always typically around that $250,000 range. So last week it was just at $330,000. So it was a good week, and in part because you throw a Watchmen page in there for $25,000, and it helps skew the numbers. But there was also that. Well, we're going to show them here, but the Gil Kane Marvel Spotlight cover that has the Submariner on it, it sold for just over 15. And then there was that Sandman page by Teddy Christensen that sold for just under 12, I think. But again, those are the top 3 pieces. So let me just show them now, and you'll know exactly what I am talking about. So here's the Watchmen page as part of the overall sales. This, again, was from issue 5, page 7, sold again by Bashara with a buy it now price. So there was no bidding whatsoever on this thing. It came and went before you even got to know it was there. So, lovely page. And then next up is the Gil Kane Marvel Spotlight 27 cover, sold for $15,100. And the next piece is the Sandman 64 page. And this one was at auction. It had a lot of bids. It was one of our featured auctions from like our auction preview last week, and it sold for $11,900. And the 3 eBay results, those were the 3 eBay results, and these are the 3 Heritage results. Another Sergeant Fury, Dick Ayers, John Tartaglione, Sergeant Fury for $7,800. And then this Harry Lucy Archie Giant Size magazine. This, I believe this was a house ad. So it was, and it sold for $4,800. A lot of times these end up being like 4-issue or 4-page complete stories. That was not. That was a house ad. And then finally, this is it's an unlisted artist, but from Chesler Comics artist, and it's a Lady Satan story, and it sold for $4,320. So from the 1940s, an uncredited artist on that one. So yeah, that was strong. Yeah, I thought 25 again, but I mean it's tough, you know. I mean, the pages don't come up that often, and now the good ones are selling for, you know, 3-4 times that at this point. So seeing that page go for 25,000 is impressive. And you know, I mean, over the years, the way guys tend to operate on eBay is if they have a very valuable piece. I mean, we all know this, that if a inquiry comes in to buy it, a lot of times they'll take it off eBay and then, you know, not allow eBay to get their cut from it. And so for that to stay there, you know, it was a legit sale because they're giving eBay 10% of that, right? So very, very strong price for that, and very legit, because, you know, 9 times out of 10, any artwork that's like that on eBay will never get properly recorded, because, you know, I mean, I don't know. I've known many sellers that do that. I'm sure you guys know who the regular guys that do that are. That will, the moment you make that inquiry, it's and you know, let's take it off eBay. Hey, I'll give you 4% off, right? I mean, why not? Saving 6% to eBay. So it happens all the time. And I agree, Ruben. You can say it's hard to say because there's not a lot to compare it to. So yeah, but in that case, it was a buy it now. There was no competition really for the piece. Somebody paid what the asking price was on it. So you know, I think that makes it rather unique. I mean, it would have been, in a weird way, more legitimate to have it out there open to bidders, like we would see a page like that on Heritage go for. But at this point, if that page were on Heritage, it could have went for 30, right? I mean, because somebody looking at it saying, I'm going to have to pay 75 if I want to get something really great that's got Rorschach on it, or you know, or any of the prime characters. 25 is, you know, you could almost say it's a bargain today at the moment. I mean, still surprising to me, you know, but still, I mean, yeah, Bashar probably could have got more money elsewhere for it. So let's see. Mikhail says, I had a reverse it. Made an offer on eBay. Seller tracked me down in CAF and offered the piece for less, but cut out eBay. Yeah, well, one way or another. I mean, that's really, and that's the problem with eBay. That's why, you know, one of the many reasons I have a love-hate relationship with eBay is because that, you know, their platform is so full of holes at the end of the day that, you know, it's just not. I don't know. It's a good marketing platform for everybody. Let's put it that way, right? And it always has been. So, yeah. And you know, George Tuska on the Lady Satan page, that may very well be Larry. Oh, and I didn't catch you on that one, Ruben. I'm sorry. Now that I read that, as far as you were talking about, as far as the strong price, whether it was or it wasn't. I thought, you know, I mean, I thought the page was pretty dramatic. I wish I could pull up those examples. And that's kind of what we're going to do differently on Thursday when I go through some of the reviews that I do on the market data. The videos are nice, but I'd like to be able to pull them up and be able to talk to some pieces a little bit longer and some pieces maybe a little less. And so I'm going to shuffle that up. I don't think we're going to do this video montage every time. I'd like it to be a little bit more like what we do when we do a heritage recap typically, but doing these on some of the weekly items there and from eBay and whatnot, so we can discuss. I mean, I can pull the Gibbons piece up and we can chat about it, right? Rather than it just sliding by and it's already forgotten. So yeah, that's true. That's true. I do remember that. And Joseph from Brit Comics also offered that one, partially done Watchmen page at what was it, the November Comic Art Live, and I tell you, I saw it. I was all when it was posted. He posted originally before the show. I saw it, and because he had a problem uploading stuff, so it's like I never would see anybody's stuff typically. But Joseph had an issue, like he had this broken image or something. So I went into his gallery or his exhibitor booth, and I saw the Watchmen page there, and it was literally like I think half the price he had it, and when the show started that he had it at, and I was like, oh my gosh, I mean, I should just buy this myself, right? Because you would never, because I'm talking about it was like $2,000 maybe. So what did it own? I think he sold it for $3,500, but yeah, I actually said, you got to put a little bit more on that. I kind of just bit the bullet and said, you're going to sell this immediately, and you need to ask more for it, because how often have you seen an unfinished page from Watchmen, really ever on the market? So it was all still pencils, and it was a scene from Mars. Yeah, it was an amazing piece. And let's see, Paul, any Watchmen page at a fair market price will likely have many people want it. Exactly. That is without question. And just like that piece that Joseph sold, it didn't matter if it was the published piece or it wasn't. It was, done at the same time. I looked at the printed one, the published page versus the prelim that he had, and didn't see too many differences. So I wasn't quite sure why he ditched that particular page, but. So sorry, I'm missing a few of the comments that are out there, but thank you, Nick, for getting everybody one more like to 35. Maybe we're already there. But see, you kind of get where I want to go with the conversations on Thursday. I want to talk a little bit more about the pieces that we're seeing sell, and I think being able to talk about some of the dealer art sales as well as the auction house pieces at length would be better for all of us to get everyone's opinions on things, and I don't have the time to do it in the way I've been presenting these CAF updates, and I looked at it, we had the big 50th show anniversary, but for me we did it 52. I made it to a year. There's one year's worth of CAF updates, so it's like perfect timing for us to change the format of it and just kind of evolve the show from here going forward, and just making it something a little bit different, but hopefully a lot more fun and engaging for all of us. So, but I want to talk more about these kind of pieces and these sorts of things that pop up that we don't all get to see too often. I didn't even know that was in there because Colin has been writing the market reports, and I review them before they go live sometimes. Actually, Colin's put many of them up that he just says that, hey, it's posted, and I read it, and I read them every time. And that was one of the ones that just shocked me, because again, you're not going to see a Watchmen page on eBay. I mean, when was the last time we would have ever seen a Watchmen page on eBay? I don't even remember. I have to go back and market data. I bet you we haven't seen anything from the book. I mean, I think there's been some pinups. Gibbons has done some some charity work that were cover quality kind of stuff, things that were, and I might have even seen one or two off, like comics, that wouldn't be Comics Journal, but something like Amazing Heroes, some kind of other alt cover type things that have been out there, but by and large, published Watchmen pages, I can't say the last time I've seen one on eBay. So just surprising, and but cool. It made me, what it actually made me do was go to see what else Bashara had on eBay. So, because when I clicked over to it, I'm like, well, I have to see what else he's been putting up here, because I don't pay too close attention to that. Anthony sells everything on eBay as well. There's a few other dealers that put select pieces on eBay that are used more as marketing tools to bring them back to their websites. But I honestly really never paid too close attention to know. I didn't even know Bashara was actively selling on eBay like that, because I thought he was so fully engaged with the way his new site works. And over the last, what is it? It's been a year and a half since the new site came out, and these Friday art drops, and he's doing the Wednesday discounts, and I thought that was really the focal point for his art sales marketing. So, sorry, but let's see. So what else? RPG R2. Yes, I think you're absolutely right, Derek. I think that we've seen some of that out there on eBay a few times as well. So yeah, but just different stuff, nothing from nothing from the main 12 books. So sorry, I get a lot of pings over here, but anyway, so that's where I want to take things, and I know that you guys will enjoy doing it with me. And the only downside is not having this show on Friday night, and I still don't know what I want to do with that. I'd love to have it, because clearly there's so many people right here. We want to hang out. We want to hang out every night if we could. So I'm not looking for suggestions or anything right now. I'll figure something out. We'll figure out a way that we can still do something, or at least leave something open so that we can commiserate, whatever that is. And but sure, if anybody has suggestions, feel free to ping me, and we'll figure it out. But I want to move. I want to have my Friday nights at least off half the time. I just I need a little bit of that back to kind of to focus more on CAF, and I think get a few more things done. It's tough, I'm not even going to get into it. At any rate, so let's do the popular artwork. And I know I didn't even state this at the beginning. I should have said that this is for the period of July 5th through the 11th. So all this data that we're talking about today, as you guys, yeah. Well, I do want to take the night off sometime, Ron. It's but the thing is, I love hanging out with you guys. Honestly, this is it's been the most fun I've had in the longest time. So I hate the idea that we can't do this, but that's why. But moving it to Thursday and making it a little bit of a longer show, I think will make it more fun. And I'm sure I'll have to adjust my schedule sometimes when we have really too much going on, too many recaps happening, and Fridays will probably come back. But I want to try to just focus it on Thursday evenings and do a few other things during the day. So. At any rate, popular artwork. There was once again, stop enabling you. It's tough, man. If you guys weren't here, we wouldn't. It's a two-way street, to be honest with you. When we first started these, on Friday evenings, or even when I was doing them on Thursdays, early on, we'd have like just 20 people show up. So now, we have 60, 70, 80 people hanging out, and it's more than what I ever expected it to be. But so I want to deliver more at the end of the day. I want to have it be more fun. Even if you're not listening to me and you're doing things in the chat, at least I've got more content to kind of spill out for you. And we can appreciate some things together and some things not. But I know Friday Night Lights, Dino. Man, see, Dino is so witty. If I could hire Dino to be my writer, he'd be on the staff immediately. Thursday Night Fights, but Friday Night Lights. Yes, exactly. But at any rate, let me go through the popular artworks from last week as deemed by me. And there were a lot of doozies in last week's artwork posts. I literally initially had about 25 pieces selected, but I did whittle that down to, I believe, 16 artworks, and it was tough. Because there's what I've been trying to do of late is spread it around. If I see, I've been featuring too many pieces by this guy, got to try to spread it around. And it's tough sometimes because you get used to seeing really choice pieces, and I'm trying to make it more on the art versus on who it is. I don't even really look to see are they premium or not. And sometimes I'll skip over the non-premium people if their scans are just too small and they're not. And I don't want to sit there and try to color correct them and everything, because I always try to make these present well. But it's tough to kind of spread it around a lot. But I think I did okay this time. But a lot of familiar names. So let's get this thing showing here. First up is a Gene Colan, Tom Palmer. This is a Daredevil and Black Widow title splash, and this is in the collection of Mark Levy. He had a couple pieces that were just too amazing this past week. Next up is an Avengers 41 page 5 page in the collection of Brian Coppola, and this is by John Buscema and George Bell. Great early Black Widow costumes. And this is in Hans's collection. So this is from 1996. It's the WonderCon program cover. Mike Mignola, of course. And yes, we've seen this one before, but I really, really like this one. And next up, this is a Batman Hush page. And, Jim Lee's, I'm a Jim Lee fan, and particularly Batman Hush. This is from issue 610, and this is in the collection of Tim Molyneux. And next up is it's actually screwed up on my list here. So that wasn't good. Sorry about that. Let me see. My whole ordering got totally messed up. And it's continuing to be messed up. But this is Madness in Murder World #1, Bagley and Williams. Next up is a Hellions cover, number 15 in James' collection, Steven Segovia. James has been adding a few nice pieces to his collection of late. And speaking of nice additions to collections, this is in Michael Lovett's collection. It's the Iron Man Hall of Armor, and it's by Bob Layton. Here is another piece in Mark Levy's collection, Gene Colan and Bill Everett this time. Tales to Astonish 79. Great subby images in that one. And of course, this is the awesome Sal Buscema and with Mike Esposito Inc.'s collection, Mark Tomlinson from Incredible Hulk 236, and it's page 10. This is from the amazing Lee Bermejo, repped by Splash Page Comic Art, Spider-Man versus Venom. This is in the collection of George and the #1. He's #1. Couple more here. This is in JD's collection. This is a Tom Grummett, Doug Hazelwood piece, World Without a Superman, trade paperback cover. This is in R. Shergan's collection, Joe Kubert, and it's All-Star Squadron number 13, the cover to that, from 1982. And we got the final three here. This one is in Ted Latner's collection. Artists are James Sherman and Bob McLeod. Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, and number 242, title page #1. And an art from a strip I will probably never get to own a piece of art from. This is Sky Masters. It's something I'd love one day to have one from. This is from July 2nd, 1959. And it's in Ron Sonnenthal's collection, Jack Kirby, Wally Wood. And finally, this is in Mickey's collection. This is J.G. Jones, of course, and it's from Fantastic Four, the 2014 series. It's issue number 3. It's a variant cover. So there you have it. Those are my picks, and I've got 35 comments that I wasn't able to watch when and read. But yes, there was a lot of good stuff in all of that. And the Kubert piece, Michael, yep, that was one of my favorites in the set. The Grummett obviously was pretty dang amazing. I knew everyone was going to like to see that. I'm sure he saw it when it got posted. Absolutely amazing. And look, Prince Namer approves of the artwork as well. Can't argue about that. And yeah, Mark was definitely killing it. He had some really amazing posts last week. So that's the cool thing about CAF. Lots of people try to keep their gallery updated. People will post stuff before it's actually in their hands. It, right? You see, because you knew it was on somebody's some dealer site yesterday, and it's in somebody's CAF gallery the next day. They didn't get it, but you're just so excited to share it. So but I like it when but it was cool watching because Mark did post a lot of pieces last week. So some people, like when we were talking to what was it, Tyler? No, it wasn't Tyler Matty. It was the Tuesday interview where they were like, we really only scan once a year. Our big art buying is done during the Heroes Con, and we do all our scanning and posting to CAF after the show. So everybody's got their different approach to updating CAF. So I don't know. I just like everybody's different approach. It makes it more fun because you just never know what you're going to get. But so it was a good week for art on CAF. And so one of the things that I've been fiddling around with this, back on that mobile friendly redesign. I am back on it. I know I always talk about it, but now that I had a lot of fun working on the Catskill site, that it gave me a few ideas on what I wanted to do on calf. So I'm tinkering again. It's still gonna take me some time, but I think that we're gonna get there. I hope by the end of the year, because I can tell you we're fine. If you didn't know, the way Google works is Google, they don't. Technically, yeah, they will penalize you in search results if you're not mobile friendly now, and I've never really had to worry about that in any way, shape, or form before, just because there isn't anything else out there like calf. But I can see in some weird ways, like, Google doesn't send as much traffic as they used to, and it doesn't bother me because calf's traffic is always about the same. But I'm quite confident that lack of mobile friendly usability, it's because they implemented that strategy. They really implemented it like 4 years ago, and I just never really saw any real impact from it. But it's finally to the point where I think, yeah, if we don't get it done, get it done soon, at some point, I'm going to get penalized for it. So I don't want to see that happen. And again, the last couple sites that I did, when I redid Anthony's site, I learned a little bit more about doing mobile friendly sites. I mean, I really would rather pay somebody else to do that and not have me do it. But I learned a lot when I did Anthony's site, and was able to roll some of those thoughts over to Scott's site that hopefully we'll all see on Monday. And it just got me thinking about calf again, and how I can get it finally to that mobile friendly state. And I know most people, they don't care. I mean, heck, when you're on a tablet, it doesn't really make any difference. But I know so many of you are on your phones. You're on your phones this evening, so it's got to be done. We need to get it done, and it's got to be a priority. So that's part of what's going to take up some time through the end of the year for sure. You guys, ML, you're going to write a comic. Is that what you're saying? Or somebody wrote the lunch menu. Okay, Marcus. You guys. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm pondering as far as those few things that I need to get updated. And I can tell you, I did get an invite to go to MegaCon. And how many people are down in Florida and are actually going to MegaCon? Maybe if you're not here this evening, if you're watching later, let me know. Because I was off. Remember a few weeks back I mentioned wanting, I'd like to do panels, and I was really talking about 2022, but I was asked if I'd want to do something at MegaCon, and of course that's I think it's like the 12th through the 14th of August. So at first I turned them down, but because it was too close. Really, I wanted to wait till next year. But if anybody thought that they were going to be there, okay, Alfredo, so you're on the fence. That's why you might go for a day or two. So all right, I'm going to think about it, because if I tell them that I'd be willing to do a panel, and host a panel with them, I would probably want to ask for like the smallest room, just because I don't know how much I really want to be there, right now, as well. So, but it feels wrong to turn it down, even though I already turned it down. I was going to email them this weekend just to see what might we be able to do. Liefeld went down to Florida for something, and the rumor is he picked up COVID. I have not heard that. I know that he did cancel on that Big Apple show this weekend. So I know that did happen, because I know Glenn was going out to that show and whatnot. So, I mean, I guess anything can happen, right? I mean, that's the thing with, they talk about the Delta stuff and everything. Most of these things are more contagious, but they're not as deadly. So we should expect more people to be getting it, even if they've been vaccinated. And just hopefully, you hope for the best, and not anything that truly negative. No, I didn't hear that, Jason. But I did read your comment earlier about you wait to post your art until you have it, so you don't jinx it. That's probably a good philosophy. And yeah, Moy is already in LA for which show is that, Marcus? I always forget the name of it because they don't advertise with me. They never give me any PR for it either. That was oh man, you're gonna come up with it before I do. And Torpedo, thank you, Mikhail. Yeah, I don't know why they don't, because they don't even send me announcements for it, and usually I would get those, but Torpedo never sends me any announcements whatsoever. I mean, I should talk with them, because I've heard good things about the show. I'm sure anybody that's gone to it would say the same thing. I've never heard anything negative about it. and he always manages to bring in some good talent. I mean, if Jim's going, flood torpedo tubes. And yeah, Anthony is set up at the Big Apple Con this weekend. And yeah, John telling me, yep. But so yeah, I'll have to email John. I actually wanted to talk to him too, just to see if I couldn't get him on one of our CAF chats as well. Comic Art Live chats. I'm sorry. See, and now I fell for the changing Comic Art Live to CAF. But he would be a great person to have on the show. I mean, he's got one hell of a collection of art, and just his experience in the industry would make for a fun hour and a half to 2 hours. So there is parking on the site, which is nice. So you guys, man, it's like you guys can coordinate an outing to any of the shows in the country. But got Starlin and Stranko now. Oh, Carbo does. No, I didn't know that. And is it okay for show that Gene? I'd love to show the Gene Cole and Tom Palmer, the Daredevil one again. Unfortunately, I'd have to pull up Mark Levy's gallery to do that. I should see that, and again, that's well, no, I can actually, you know what? Here, I can do that. Let's see, I can share it because it was pretty dang awesome. Let's get this thing on the screen here. Ask and you shall receive. So there you go. But yeah, Mark had such a really great bunch of updates, and this is just an amazing. That's why I led with this one, because it was probably the most commented piece of the week, and just amazing. Love it. You know, Palmer does get all the credit he deserves for the work that he put into the hobby, and I mean, he did an amazing job inking this Cohen piece. So love it, absolutely love it. And yeah, I mean, Mark does have, you know, I've got so many favorite galleries on CAF, but Mark's been a member of the site for a number of years, and he's well known in the hobby. He's in our chat quite often, and now he's amazing collection. And so I'm very grateful for all the years that he's been supporting the site and sharing his artwork. So yep, see, that's the best thing about CAF, right? We can just sit back and enjoy it any time we like, even though we don't own it. And see, so Jason, you decided not to go to the Big Apple. Yeah, Anthony asked me to come to that too, but like I said earlier, I do think that when we are going to go to the Society of Illustrators show, there's a lot of Mike's artwork that was that Rob Pastella had picked up for that. And so I was talking with Mike and Anthony after Wednesday's show, and I told them I wasn't going to be able to make this New York outing, and they agreed. You know, Anthony said he'd put us up, and so we'll probably try to drive in like on a Friday, and you know, just take it easy on Friday evening, go to the show on Saturday, and we'll probably do some shooting over at Anthony's warehouse probably Saturday night and maybe Sunday. So certainly if anybody wanted to kind of get together at the Society or maybe at Anthony's on Sunday, feel free to stop by. I got this. I'll show you guys. Well, we haven't settled on that yet, Jason. I told Anthony that he needs to tell me the weekends, you know, which weekends is he free in August, and then Mike and I would tell him which one we'd come out. So I'm really leaving it up to him, and I'm waiting to hear back from him on what weekend in August works for him. So yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So I hope anybody else that can do that. I mean, I'm not trying to take away any of the steam from the New York gathering. I much rather would be able to go to that one. I just, you know, for me to drive it all by myself from here out to there, I couldn't do it. That's why I was hoping, but Mike's not free that weekend. So when he told me he couldn't make it, then that nixed it for me. But I would much rather be there knowing that you guys already have this fun hangout already going on, and Dan puts a lot of effort in getting those things together. So I would have rather gone, but you know, I'll try for the next one. I mean, I think he does those a couple times a year. So maybe in the wintertime I'll work something out, even if I have to fly out there versus drive. Just tell him when. I know he's always free. Well, he wouldn't give me a date. I asked him, at the end of the show on Wednesday, I said, give me the date. We'll do it. So, need to diddle. Okay, James, I'm surprised you haven't, you know, since you collect DPSs, you could just put any wall mounted TV in almost any room of your house and you could appreciate your collection and anyone else's at any given time. The majority of your collection would fit very well into those into that format. Wes. Hey, good night, Wes. I've been trying to get my kids to watch Back to the Future as well, because as you know, one of our theme shows is Back to the Future that we've kind of almost got the script all worked out. So hopefully that's probably going to be our next theme show, is a Back to the Future episode. So lots of fun there. Traveling back in time, you can imagine the fun we're going to have with early art prices and trying to change the course of history will be a lot of fun. Yes. I know. Yeah, getting back to Heroes is a priority for sure in 2022. I mean, I'm definitely going to go there, and I can tell you this: when I did my little interview this afternoon with Scott before I failed miserably on getting his website live, he let me know that he and Ron Friends were going to go to the Heroes show in 2022. They were on the guest list for 2020. And so they're going to be going in 2022. And he said Ron's never been to that show. So I said, well, then I'm definitely going to Heroes in 2022. So I'll get to see him there. It'll be fun. I haven't seen Ron in a long time either. So that'll be a good show. As everybody knows, it's like the best show of the year. But anyway, so I didn't see too many MegaCon things here, so I still might think I think I'll pass on that, because isn't MegaCon usually in the spring? So I'm assuming they're going to do this show in August, and then they're going to probably be back on their normal schedule in the spring. I'd probably rather go down there in the springtime when we've got a few more months past any more COVID issues. And see Tony, so Tony's going to be there. Everybody's going to be. Yep. Khalil. All right, so that's going to be a party. We're going to have to definitely set up a CAF Comic Art Live dinner. We'll have to pick out what works best that doesn't conflict with any of the other evening events going on. I mean, with the auctions on Saturday, and I know we probably want to do something on a Friday, but we can all kind of talk about that offline and figure out what would okay, Alfredo, you said yes in the spring, so that's what I'll tell him. August is just too close. I mean, I don't want to do it. I really didn't, but I started feeling guilty because it was the first time I've been invited to do a panel. So I'm going to get back to him and tell him put me on the spring schedule, and I will do something then. So and even at that point, I should have my house down there, so it'll make everything a lot easier. I mean, I hope I find a house by spring. So yeah, Tony, the cash machines, as you've told us, have no money in them at Heroes. So bring your cash. Credit is not accepted. Okay, yep. Nick is also agreeing that to wait. Yeah, April, May. That's what I thought. I knew it was springtime period. So that's the thing. They have a really nice lineup, and it does say, and maybe it's been said before, but it did say on the MegaCon site that this was definitely George Perez's last Florida show appearance. Now, if that's true, I mean, I can't, out of all the lists of artists on there, and there were many people I'd like to see, I thought, well, one last time to say hey to George would have been fun. And that was kind of like half the, well, I wouldn't say it's half, it's probably like quarter of the reason for wanting to maybe go is just to see George one last time, because I haven't seen him in probably 8 years, but I've shown you pictures of my son and George, and we had a lot of good times early on in my collecting experience, and to be able to say see ya one last time would have been nice, but we'll see. So someone's going to SuperCon. Oh, you're going to SuperCon in September, right? Well, we'll see. Thank you, Felix. Yep. Sorry, it's hard to read through the chats and multitask, but well, there you go. See, same reason, Alfredo. That's why I thought, all right, if I'm gonna go, I can see George and do a small panel. So I don't know. God, it kills me that they have it, right before school starts. I mean, and it's just too early. I just can't do it. It kills me. But we'll see. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll. Anyway, well, if I go, hopefully I'll meet a few people there. I'll let you know by next Thursday what I decide. I really rather wait till spring though. And maybe George is just teasing us all, like somebody mentioned, and he'll still be out there, and we can hang out and at least say adios one last time. So anyone going to be at the Gas Lamp next Saturday? Are you there every Saturday, Mikhail? I saw those the pictures of James when he was at your place. You know how to entertain. That is for sure. See, all you guys, man. Anyway, so let's see. I guess that's probably answer my email about Montserrat, please. Was this a new one, or was this somebody had emailed me about Montserrat? Was that you, Knights of Old? It was a while back that I didn't get to answer. I can't. There was. I bet it was you. I'm gonna guess, but I will. There was an email like I got really behind in May. Yes. Okay. I sincerely apologize for that, Knights, because I had a lot of emails in May that I didn't get back to when I got stuck in that rut with the Comic Art Live show. And May was such a blur. If I was wise, I would spend the entire weekend going back through my email all the way through the beginning of May and replying to every email that I flagged that I didn't reply to. Because I do remember you wrote, I skimmed it, but I read through it, and then you mentioned that you were there while they were still at the music theater location. So I did read it, and it was one of those ones where it's like, okay, I can't. This isn't a 2-sentence answer, or something that I could reply. So when I get those, but it was a bad month, so I screwed up. Did not get to reply. I will definitely get back to you. I did get it. I really did, and I read everything. It's just I get so sidetracked here with so many things that I did forget to reply to that one. But Derek asking, is anyone going to the San Jose Comic-Con? How can you get? I do have the shirt in blue, actually. If you go to, well, here, I'll dig up the link and just give it to you, because you can basically customize this. It has, I think it comes in red, black, blue, and green, and probably gray sleeves. And I'll just see if I can't actually throw it right on here. And everything is up to 35% off on their site. Let's see. Ringer t-shirts. Nope, I want where is it? There we go. The baseball t-shirt. Here we go. I will just paste this into the YouTube chat, and you can customize as you see fit. They're $20 right now. They're usually $26. So that's a good price. And yeah, it's 5 color options. So they're nice. I mean, I bought one in every color just to have them. And at some point I plan to do something with just dueling dealers. I got a couple fun ideas for that, but I haven't had the time to make them. And really, I initially just put those out there on TeePublic because I wanted to have a calf shirt, and I didn't really care if anybody bought them, because they don't really make we don't make hardly any money, like $1 a shirt when people buy them, maybe $2 or something. But it was more, I put it out there because I'm like, there's no other way I'm going to be able to print myself some custom T-shirts. So I did it. Let's see, who's the calf crew from NYC? Yep. But so Carlos, are you aware of that New York get together? And that's happening at the Society of Illustrators on the 31st. So, and Kavi as well. So yeah, I don't know. Get together. Yes, as Dino's saying, there's a get together at the Society of Illustrators, 2 p.m. July 31st. And I think it's small admission fee, but with the admission fee, I think you get a drink and a lot of access to some really amazing art. Like I said, I know Rob Pistella had come out to Mike's place about a month ago and picked up really a lot, pretty much all the great stuff that Mike had, and to put it on kind of as an exhibit and a sale. And it's a really, Rob's told me a bit more about it, and I'm sure Dino's heard a lot about it, but it's going to be a great presentation, and it's something that you're not going to get to see too often. So I would highly encourage anybody who's in the in the New York area to attend that. And you can contact Dan Poddick through his CAF gallery, or Dino. Dino can get you the same information as well. But if I could make it, I would make it to that event. I really want to see it, but I'll make it afterwards. But to be able to hang out with all you guys that are in the New York area that are going, very envious. So you're at Terrificon that day. Yep. I know a few people that are going to Terrificon. I think Colin's going to Terrificon as well. So, but yep. You guys are funny. So, all right. I think that I had my long list, but I think I covered my long list here. But be ready for next Thursday. It'll be a lot of fun. Remember, I told you I'm going to broach the topic that that one of my pet peeves about the hobby that we can never change. That's going to be when we get to that. That'll be a lot of fun, and we'll all agree at the end of it that it's something we can't change. That it's just how it is, and it's something that we just all have to live with. But I'm going to talk about it because it's not something we would normally talk about openly, I think. So it'll be good to do that as a kind of a kickoff. And not that I want to, it's not controversial or anything. It's something that everybody's very well aware of. And I'm not trying to make that the Thursdays be like the controversial show. I just thought it's something that would be good for me to talk about, get off my chest, and then we'll figure out what the topics, if there are topics per week, what those may or may not be. But it's mine, and I'm going to use my platform that one night to do it. So hopefully everybody tunes into next Thursday's show. Let's see, should be. You guys, the texts are so they're fun, but it's like dueling dealers some nights where the texts just fly by on my screen and I can't keep reading them. Is that I can't travel back in time? Yeah, well, that would be the easy big pet peeve. So, but we hope to rectify that when we do our dueling dealer Back to the Future episode to some degree. I think there's a lot of fun things in that one that are about historical pricing, and if we could only turn back time, what would happen? How could we change the future? So yeah, we're having a lot of fun with the script right now, but yeah, like everybody said, have a great night, everybody. And again, it's so much fun getting to hang out. I'm going to miss doing these on Friday. Let's just give me my Fridays off for a little while, and let's see how the Thursday show rolls and how I can juggle doing these doing some recorded interviews in the afternoons, and maybe even doing some live ones because I'm sure the European guys that have asked me to do interviews with them, that why I could probably get them on a 5 p.m. Eastern on a Thursday afternoon. I don't know how many people tune in, but at least it's a better time for them to do it. So we'll see. I think that again, I'm trying to be flexible and open-minded about the changes that are coming. But have a wonderful weekend. And anybody going out to any shows, you guys stay safe, have fun. Stuff your CAF galleries early next week with new scans that I can feature on the show. And Dino, I will shoot you an email as well, just saying that kind of giving you an outline what I'd like to get as best you can, and whatever I get will be aces, I'm sure. So have a good weekend. As Jordan says, aloha, and we will see you again on Sunday evening at 9 p.m. for the next Comic Art Collectors Conversation. So have a great weekend.